War. The word alone sends a chill down the spine. But right now, it's not just a word, it's a reality. A reality unfolding in real time, where lives are shattered, cities fall, and nations clash with terrifying ferocity. Across the globe, the battle lines have been drawn. The stakes are higher than ever. Today, we stand at the edge of a precipice, watching the chaos unfold. This is the war that's happening now, the fight between countries, between ideologies, and ultimately, the fight for the future of humanity itself. The question is, who will emerge victorious, and at what cost? Look to Ukraine, a sovereign nation fighting for its life. A war sparked by Russia's hunger for power and expansion. But this isn't just Ukraine's fight. It's the fight of every nation that values freedom. As missiles rain down and cities burn, the world is forced to take sides. The stakes? Nothing short of the fate of democracy itself. The West watches as Russia, a nuclear superpower, pushes forward with brutal force. The air is thick with the threat of escalation. An all-out war, a global conflict, one wrong move away from a disaster of unimaginable proportions. Yet, in the face of overwhelming odds, Ukraine stands defiant. The people, united by a single cause, fighting not just for their land, but for their very existence. This war is no longer just about borders. It's a battle for the future of the free world. Every sanction, every weapon sent to Ukraine is a statement that says, we will not go quietly into the night. But the real question, will the world stand firm? Or will it buckle under the pressure of an empire trying to rewrite history? Now, turn your gaze to the Middle East, a region drenched in blood, where wars rage not just between nations, but between ideologies. From Syria to Yemen, the conflicts are relentless, grinding down the innocent in a machine of terror that never stops turning. The war in Yemen is a deadly proxy struggle between Saudi Arabia and Iran, two regional powers, each pulling the strings of a war they don't fight on their own soil. And what of the civilians? Caught in the crossfire, struggling to survive in a war that has no clear end. Cities reduced to rubble, families torn apart, children growing up amid the remnants of a devastated world. And then there's the war in Syria, once a country, now a battleground for global powers. Russia, the United States, Turkey, Iran, all with their own interests, none with any concern for the lives they're destroying. This is no longer just a regional conflict, it's a global chess game, each move pushing us closer to the brink. But the question remains, when will the world stop turning a blind eye? When will we say enough? War is no longer just fought on the ground. It's fought in the shadows, in cyberspace, in the flow of information. We are witnessing the rise of a new kind of warfare, one where the battlefield is not a field, but a network of codes, data, and digital lies. Cyber attacks are now the weapons of choice. Power grids, government systems, financial institutions, all are vulnerable. Entire nations can be crippled without a single bullet being fired. The manipulation of information is a weapon as deadly as any missile. In this new war, truth is a casualty. Disinformation spreads like wildfire, poisoning minds and destabilizing societies. And the psychological toll? Unseen, but profound. The constant bombardment of fear, doubt, and manipulation has us questioning everything, from the very news we read to the reality we see with our own eyes. This is a war for the mind, a war that threatens to tear apart the fabric of society itself. The wars we see today are not just regional, they are global. These are conflicts with global consequences. The lines between allies and enemies are blurring, and the price of failure is incalculable. Nuclear weapons, chemical warfare, and the fear of escalation are a constant, looming threat. In a world where superpowers clash, one misstep could ignite a chain reaction. A chain that leads us to the unthinkable. The world's most powerful nations teeter on the edge of total destruction, and with every conflict, every battle, we draw closer to the abyss. The rules of engagement are changing. There is no safety. There is no guarantee of peace. So, the question must be asked, will humanity learn from the past, or are we doomed to repeat the same mistakes? Is this the final chapter in the story of mankind? Or is there still a chance for us to rise above the bloodshed, to find a way back from the edge? We are at a crossroads. The wars raging around the world are not just battles for power, but battles for our very soul. A soul that is being torn apart by the violence, the hatred, and the greed of those who seek to control. But there is still hope. There is still a chance, if we choose to rise above. If we choose to put aside our differences, to stand together as one. The wars we face today are not just for land, power, or wealth. They are for the future. A future that is still within our grasp, if we fight for it. Will we let the world burn? Or will we rise from the ashes, stronger, wiser, and determined to build something better? The answer lies within us.